From the three-man machine gun to a lightweight weapon for warriors on the run, it changed the tactics of battle. From crashing without a hope to bailing out alive, revolutionized pilot safety. And from spotting danger by eye to hearing it with sonar, changed how we navigate. They're all inventions of the 1910s, a decade dominated and defined by the First World War. From the parachute to the pop-up toaster to the submachine gun, they're the inventions that shook the world. Whether it's jumping out of planes for a weekend adrenaline rush or leaping from extreme altitude on military missions, it's something that once seemed impossible until a humble coal miner took a giant leap into the unknown. 1912, Greenville, Pennsylvania. Stefan Bonich just finished another shift at the mine, and he's daydreaming about a better life, with no idea that a tragedy right in front of him is about to change everything. A plane has fallen out of the sky. The pilot didn't stand a chance. The incident haunts Bonich, but it's also fuel for his inventive mind. A Slovakian immigrant, he's been studying engineering at night school, hoping it will free him from his life as a laborer.
With his personality, a fixer, a solver of problems, he started to think of ways that the pilot could have been saved.
It's only been 9 years since the Wright brothers took their first flight. These early airplanes are dangerous and often break down in midair. Bonich realizes aviation is the way of the future. If only it could be safer.
Everybody else was working on getting up in the air. Stefan Bonich apparently thought there ought to be a way that when that contraption falls out of the air, that we can get the pilot back to the ground safely.
The idea of a parachute is not new, but nobody's come up with a provable design that can be patented. The arrival of the airplane inspired several designs in the early 20th century, including a parachute in a backpack, but none of them took off. In 1912, a Frenchman, Franz Reichelt, suffered a terrible fate with his hand-sewn silk wings. He climbed to the top of the Eiffel Tower with cameras rolling. But his wings didn't work. He crashed and died in front of hundreds of spectators. Bonich thinks future tragedies can be prevented with smarter engineering. He envisions his parachute working on the basic scientific principle known as drag. Bonich has to design a device that will fan out so it traps air underneath. This will create air resistance, or drag, that will dramatically slow the speed of his fall and allow for a safe landing. Bonich begins building his parachute. He uses canvas for the canopy and sews it by hand. He attaches poles that can expand and contract like a telescope.
It had a harness on the hips, and then these rods, when he would open it, it would come up using his arms, and then it would extend on telescopic poles. You would use your arms to deploy the parachute, so to speak. Kind of the reverse. We'd think of an umbrella, we'd hang under it. In this case, he put it underneath the arms because that way he at least had some control of whether it stayed open or not.
Bonich is ready to test his prototype. A man in a skirt on the barn rafters isn't something the neighbors see every day.
Are you all right, mister?
He's got a few bumps and bruises, but the chute does slow his fall. With each additional jump, he improves his design. He makes the parachute larger. More surface area means he can trap more air, which increases the chute's resistance to the force of gravity. But to get a patent, he'll have to prove that it works from a much greater height. So he plans a very public, very risky demonstration. He'll leap from the top of a building in Washington, D.C., within sight of the U.S. Patent Office. June 3rd, 1914. Bonich appears on the roof.
I think anybody that jumps a parachute has confidence that it's going to open. He believed in himself, believed in his design, so he was willing to make the jump.
The descent is perfect. A performance that earns Bonich a patent for his parachute, and an achievement that gets the attention of the U.S. military.
The Army became very interested in a device or the concept of getting a pilot out of a broken airplane to the ground safely.
So Bonich offers his patent to the U.S. Army. His reward? Not money, but a lifetime membership in the Army Air Corps. The military modifies his parachute to make it more practical for real airmen. It soon becomes standard issue for American pilots.
I always say never turn down the person with ideas and thoughts and dreams, because that's what creates tomorrow.
Today, Bonich's parachute skirt is a quirky museum piece. But it started a revolution in pilot safety. Other bright ideas of the decade. 1910, neon lights set cities aglow thanks to a French chemist who runs an electric current through neon gas with illuminating results. 1911, the Murphy bed, a mattress that hides by day and provides a new platform for Charlie Chaplin. In 1913, the assembly line, kick-started by Henry Ford to make more Model Ts, it launches a new era of mass production. Coming up, a 20th century genius is inspired by the tragedy of the Titanic and invents a safer way to navigate.